students, my name is Partha and welcome in your foundation course. Hello students. In basically if we talk about the your science subject, science is divided into three parts. Basically, whenever we move to our ninth standard, science will be divided into three parts. That is, the physics, chemistry, and biology. And dear students, I am a faculty of physics, and dear, I will teach complete lectures of ninth class, which is included in a physics. Dear students, first lecture is a motion. First lecture of physics in ninth class is a motion. Okay, students, now we start our lecture, that is a motion.
Now students, today's topics is first topic is dear student what is the physics, how we define the physics, and after that we discuss about the branch of physics which is studies in a first chapter. First chapter also consider a single branch of a physics. Okay students, after that we discuss about the a branch of physics. In that branch, dear students, in first chapter we discuss about the one branch of physics, that is a mechanics. Okay students, in mechanics first we discuss about the rest and motion. What is the rest and what is the motion? Because the branch of physics, that is a mechanics, and mechanics is completely dependent on the position of a object. It may be at rest, it may be in a motion. Okay, after that, dear students, we discuss the frame of reference. If you are observing any object, then we require a frame of reference with the respect. We talk about the with respect to any frame of reference. Okay, now after that, dear students, we discuss the type of a motion. How many type of motion? Just like a linear motion, just like a rotational motion, just like a oscillatory motion. Different type of motions we discuss. After that, dear students, assignment for you. Okay students, now these are the topics for today.
Dear student, before that classes we say only a science. But after ninth and 10th standard, we say some new words, that is a physics, chemistry and biology. So first of all we discuss about the physics. Physics also branch of a science. Physics is a branch of science in which we observe, measure and describe nature and natural phenomena. We discuss about some natural phenomena and some event happens in a nature. All things are discussed in a physics. Okay students, but here physics have a broad space. We divide the physics into more parts. First part is mechanics. First part is a mechanics students. Okay. In mechanics, we discuss some most discussion which is included in our first chapter, that is a motion. First, what is the mechanics? Mechanics is a branch of physics. We already discussed about in first chapter. We discuss about the mechanics, and mechanics is the branch of physics. It is a branch of physics which deal with the study. We study about the object. Whenever object at rest and whenever object in motion. Sometime object at rest, sometime object in a motion, and in that position, dear student, we discuss the all the other properties of a object at rest and at motion. Okay students, so that is a physics, and after the physics we discuss the one branch, we start a new branch, that is a mechanics. And in mechanics our first chapter is motion. Okay students, now mechanics. We divide the mechanics into three parts. First one is a statics, second one is a kinematics, and third one is a dynamics. Dear student, as the definition and as the discussion about earlier slide, we says the Mechanics is the branch of physics in which we study about the object whenever at rest, sometime at rest and sometime in a motion. Okay students, so on the basis of condition of object at rest and motion and causes of that, which cause behind in motion and which cause behind the rest, we divided the mechanics into three parts, that is the statics, kinematics and dynamics. Okay students, first one is a static. Simply if you say static means, static word says object at rest. This static word we discuss in a electricity also in 10th standard. After that, whenever we move in a 11th 12th standard, many times we discuss about that word, that is a static, and simply meaning of that static means if you discuss about the any object and anything which is at rest, when any object at rest, then we can use the word is a static. Static. Okay students, now means dear students, a simple meaning of that static is a rest. So we can say we discuss about and we study about the object whenever object at rest. Whenever object, we deals with the study of object at rest or in a equilibrium. Equilibrium means, dear students, the balance means equivalent force is zero. Equilibrium condition means a balance condition, and in balance condition resultant force is always zero. In balance condition and equilibrium condition, balance force is zero. So we can say balance force is zero in a equilibrium condition. Okay dear students, I hope you study about the balanced and unbalanced force in a at standard. Okay, now after that we discuss about the kinematics. Kinematic also study of a object, but in that condition object in a motion. But dear students, whenever an object in a motion, some causes behind that. First thing is, if we consider the all the causes, then we make a one part of a mechanics, and we doesn't consider about the cause of a motion, then we discuss about the dynamics. Okay, now without considering cause of motion, we deal with the study of an object, but without considering the cause of motion. Okay students, and in first chapter we discuss about the kinematics also. First thing statics also, and second thing is the kinematics also, and the example of that is the equations of motion. In our first chapter we derive some equations of motion. Mostly there are three types of equations of motion. Okay students, and in this chapter we discuss about that, completely discuss about equations of motion. After that, last part is dynamics. Dear student, dynamics, all the branches of a mechanics we study about the object. First condition is that when an object at rest. Second condition is that when object in a motion but without considering the cause of motion. And last thing is object also in a motion. Object also in a motion but with considering the cause of motion, and the example is Newton's law of motion. In physics, dear students, that is our second chapter in our 9th standard. Second chapter, Newton's law of motion. In 9th standard, these things mean dynamics discussed in a second chapter, that is a Newton's law of motion. Second chapter according to physics, not according to your syllabus, science syllabus. Okay students. So dear student, first we discuss about the physics, after that we discuss about the mechanics, and after that divided into three parts. First one is a statics, second one is a kinematics, and third and last is a dynamics. Okay students. Now so we start with some example. Dear students, in this previous slide we discussed about two terms. First one is a rest and second term is used motion. So dear students, our first question is that how we can say object at rest and object in a motion. So dear students, to understand that concept, we use some basic life example. First say that is a in this picture we consider one tree and one car. Okay student, at that position if we say what is the distance and what is the relation between car and tree, that is a sum away. Car is away from tree, away from tree, but if we discuss and we if we change the position, if we change the position of that car, then what happened here students? Let's see, after some time the car moved to here, the position will be changes. If someone observe that condition, then he say car is coming and towards the tree. Car is coming towards the tree and becomes closer to the tree. Closer to the tree means, dear students, he and she means observer says car is in a motion. Tree has a fixed position, it is a fixed position, but there car is a move. In last condition, car that position, car is at that position, but at that condition car shift to your position. Okay, so observer says again, if again observe, then position is again changes. After some time if again observe, then at the last condition it says the car in a motion. Why car in a motion? Because dear students, in last condition and in a first condition, if we discuss about the car, in last condition car is away from the tree, but in that condition car closer to the tree, closer to the tree. So dear students, a simple definition of rest and motion is that the position means which position? Position of car. In last condition position of car is here. Position of a object is changes with respect to surrounding. Surrounding means with respect to true, with respect to tree. If some other tree will be here, then we can also use the surrounding. We can use any object in a surrounding. If position of an object is changes with respect to surrounding and with passes of a time, then we can say object at in a motion. If position is changes, that time we can say object in a motion. If position is not changes, then we can say object at rest. So next heading is a rest and motion. So dear student, most important point is how we can say object in rest and how we can say object in a motion. So our first topic is rest and motion. In previous diagram we discussed about the closer and away of an object. So we use a new word, the position of a object. If position of object is changes, if position of object is changes or not changes, there are two conditions. If not changes, then we can say object in a rest. If position is changes, then we use the object in a motion. So first thing is motion and rest is a combined position. Sometime you says object in a motion and some other time you says object in at rest. One object at a time will be in a motion and rest, both are possible. It completely dependent on an observer. It completely dependent on observer. Let's see the previous slide. In dear student, previous slide, if a person is standing outside the car, then he says car in a motion. But dear students, if some person is sitting in a car, not standing outside, he and she sitting in the car, and one more person is sitting in a car. Two persons are sitting in a car. First one is A, second one is a B. But the position of A and B, whenever the car at first position, when the car at last position, position of A and B is not changes. Position of A and B is not changes. So dear students, At a time we can say a person in a motion. If observer is sitting or standing outside the car, then we can say person A is in a motion with respect to outside. But if we consider the position of A with respect to B, it not changes. So that time we can say at rest. So dear students, rest and motion both are the combined property of an object. A single object, a single time, sometime you can say in a motion, sometime you can say at rest. Just like the example of a train and platform. Two person sitting inside the train and one person standing outside the train means at the platform. When train will be moved, outside person says train is moving. But inside person, both are sitting face to face. But if inside person says our partner is at rest, why? Because the position of node changes. Both have a same position before some time and after some time. So this depends on a observer. Object in a rest and object in motion, it's completely dependent on a observer. Okay, so that is a basic thing. Motion is a combined property of object and observer. It's completely dependent on object and observer. Okay students, now no meaning rest or motion without the observer. If there is a no observer, there is a no one says about the rest and motion. Okay, so dear students, that is the basic things. Now we move on a definitions of rest and motion. Rest. An object is said to be at rest. We can say object at rest, but if condition is that it does not change its position. It does not change its position with respect to surrounding. In previous slide we already discussed surrounding means we can use anything, just like a door, just like a board, just like a tree, just like a car, just like anything which is available in our surrounding. With the passage of time, time is continuously moving, dear students. If position is not changes, then we can say object at rest. Okay. And similarly, the examples of a rest is that table in a classroom and classroom are at rest with respect to the students. If you are sitting in any classroom, then objects means our surrounding objects will not be moved with respect to students. So we can say all the object at rest, just like a chair, blackboard, table, and etc. Okay students, now after that motion. What is the motion? Similarly, just like a rest, in rest position is not changes, but in motion position is changes. A body is said to be in motion if the position changes continuously. If the position is changes continuously with respect to surrounding, with respect to observer and object both are important. Okay sir, with passes of time. If position is changes continuously, dear students, so we can say object in a motion. So we can say object in a motion. That is the examples of a motion. Now whatever a car moving on the road will be in a motion with respect to a person standing on the road. We can use a many observer, person standing on road, and tree on one side of the road, and building on side on the road. Okay student, now we can change our observer as per our requirement. Okay, now that is the basic definition of rest and motion. So in simple word you can say if position is not changes, then object at rest. If position is changes, then object in a motion. Okay student, with passage of time. But dear student, two things is important. First one is the object and second one is the observer. Okay students, now that is the basic introduction is of rest and motion. After that, dear students, some points for a rest and motion. Okay, First thing is that if we talk about the earth, what happened? Earth is continuously move. Earth is continuously move. But sometimes we says object at rest, just like a chair, just like a board. But practically earth is continuously move. But dear students, earth is move. Yes, we say earth is move. But outside the earth, when we observe the earth, it's continuously move. Continuously move. But inside that, whenever we talk about our room, then position is not changes. That time which is observer and which is object, chair is a object and observer means a person. Whenever a person is observe something, if position is not changes, then object in a rest. If some person is standing outside the earth, then whole things are in a motion. So single object at rest, sometime at rest and sometime in motion, depends on a observer. So dear, so single word we can say rest and motion are a relative terms. Both terms are a relative to each other, always depending on a object and observer. So we can say that are a relative term. Nothing like a absolute motion or rest. No one a absolute at rest, no one a absolute in a motion. Okay, so please remember that point. Sometime asked in a objective question. Just a simple example is that I have already discussed about it. A train is moving on the track. A train is moving on a track. That is a platform. A passenger are seated. Two passenger. Let's suppose that's a train. One person and two person are sitting inside the train. Will be stationary with respect to each other. If both the person A and B observe to each other, then at rest. Then he and she says at rest with respect to each other. But in a moving condition with respect to students, when the train will be moved with respect to other person which are standing on platform, then he says all are in a motion. All are in a motion. Then we can say both rest and motion are a relative. Then we can say rest and motion are a relative terms. Okay, students, that is some important point. After that, dear students, in this lecture we discuss some important points which is useful and required to complete our chapters. Means that is a base of your chapter. This chapter is 11th standard also use. Means in 11th syllabus we again discuss about the kinematics, means complete kinematics and complete mechanics. Okay, student, so that is the basic information in a 9th standard and some important points. Okay, now first point we study about that is concept of a point object. How we can say object is a small size, means a point object, and sometimes we consider the measurement of a object also. Let's suppose, dear students, you are moving from one station to other station, and distance that station is a 500 kilometer. Distance of two station is a 500 kilometer. Let's suppose that is the first station and that is a second station, and distance between them is 500 kilometer. Whenever if some other person is asking how much distance is traveling by you, then you say 500 kilometer. Then you say 500 kilometer. You are not considering the length of the train. That is the length of the train. At most, almost we consider 20 meter. You are not saying we are moving a 500 kilometer plus 20 meter also, because as compared to this distance, as compared to that distance, that is a 500 kilometer, the length of an object, that is a 20 meter, is a negligible. It is a negligible. Okay, student. So in that condition, whenever we calculate some other properties, other phenomena in that journey, we are not considering the length of an object and consider that object as a point object. Just like one more example, Earth can be considered as a point object for study its motion around the sun, because the distance and circumference of that circle is more than the size of an Earth. So that time, dear students, we are not considering the size of an object. That is the concept of a point object. What is the concept of a point object? If you are traveling a large distance, and that time we are not considering the size of an object, it doesn't matter for us for any calculations. So that is a concept of a point object. Now when the size of object is much less, just like a 20 meter, in comparison to the distance covered by the object, just like a 500 kilometer, the object is considered as a point object. The object is considered as a point object. Okay, sir. If you are traveling only 1 kilometer, that is a 1000 meter, that time we consider a small length of a object, just like a 20 meter, 120 meter also, all considers. Why? Because the comparison between 120 meter and 20 meter and 1000 meter is not a negligible. It have some values and some error. If you are not considering the length of an object in that condition, then our answer has some errors. Okay, students? Now, next concept is frame of reference. Frame of reference means, dear students, our surrounding. How you can see object move in that particular direction. So we consider some frames in which we consider and observe the object's positions at different time. Okay, students. Now, what is the frame of reference? Practically, we have a 3-dimension motion and 3 dimensions also. First is a 1 dimension, second one is a 2 dimension, third one is last is a 3-dimension motion. If you are moving in some particular direction and sometime your position is a 20 meter, after that your position is a 60 meter. If we say only 20 meter and 60 meter, no other word is used, means just like a north, east, north, south, west. So you are moving in a particular one direction. If we use a 20 meter east and 20 meter south and after that 20 meter some other direction, then you are changing the direction, means you are not moving in a particular one direction. Okay. So dear students, to define any position of an object, we require the some frame of reference. Okay. Now, what is the frame of reference, dear students? That a fixed point or fixed object with respect to which the given body changes its position. In previous diagram, we use a tree and discuss the position of a car with respect to tree. So in that condition, tree is our origin, means our fixed point where use maintain some distance from the tree. All measurements are taken by the basis of a tree. All measurements are measured by the basis of a tree. Okay, students. So we require some fixed point. We require some fixed point which is used for all measurement. Let's suppose first time we use that point and that the position of a box, and we measure that is a 5 meter. If dear students you changes the position, now next position is that, then measurement is 4 meter. So if we change the position of an observer means if you don't have any fixed point, then your value will be changes according to your measurement. First time when we use this, then we have a distance is position is a 5 meter in right hand side. After some time if we use that point, then our position is 4 meter in right side. So dear students, if we don't have any fixed point, then our positions and our measurement is not correct at all time. Okay, so we require a fixed point. So we require a fixed point to measure the measurement of a position of a object. That is called a reference point, and that point is called a reference point. Okay student, that point is called a reference point on origin. In that diagram our reference point is a O, that is a reference point. Okay students, in that diagram we use a reference point. Let's suppose dear student, in our room there is a 4 corners. Take a one corner, take a one corner. If you are it corner has a 3 dimension. One is right hand side, one up hand side, one left hand side. See, similarly that is our coordinate system. Similar as that your coordinate system. If you are moving a one dimension, just like if let's suppose that is our corner of our room is that. Similar that it has a one dimension, again dimension and that dimension. So we has a 3 dimension in our at the corner of our room. So dear student, let's suppose that is a room corner. Sometime you move in that direction, sometime you move in upward direction, and sometime you move in that direction, means outside that point. So dear students, we have a 3 dimension. So the name of that dimension is, first one is a x direction. You can change the name also. We can use x, y and z, and y, z, x, anyone else. It depends on me and you. But the basic information is that basically we use a x, some maximum time y and maximum time at z. Okay, so that direction we use a y. In that direction we say x, and that direction has a z. Okay students, so there are 3 dimensions. First one is a x, second one is a y, third one is a z. Okay, and physically how we can use, say, let's suppose, and that point, first one is a that direction. Okay, we can say x. Second one is a that direction, that is a y, and third one is a outside and inside. At that point, outside and inside, that direction is outside and inside, that is a z direction. Okay student, so that is a frame of reference, and it is a requirement and basic mandatory requirement to measure any position. Okay, that is a frame of reference. Now dear student, before that we discuss about the x direction, y direction and z direction. How we can say a body move in a one dimension, Dear students, you have a 3 dimension. Yes, correct, x, y and z. And further we are using a many points about the x, y, z, I cap, j cap and k cap, but at present we say x, y and z. Now let's suppose you are a move in a x direction, continuously move in a x direction. Yes, that is a one dimension, because when you are moving in a one dimension, let's suppose that is a 3 points where you shows your position. At first time your position is 0, second time your position is a 20 meter, and third time your position is a 40 meter. Dear student, in all this time, when we say about the position, we require only one dimension. Means we require, I have a 3 dimension, that is a x, y and z. But at the first position our dimension is x is 0, y is 0 and z is 0 because it is a origin. So all are at 0. But at the second point, dear students, we change only first position 20, y and z. What is the y? Y is the upward direction, there is no changes, and z is the outward direction, there is no changes in a y and z. Only a single coordinate is required to show the position of an object. Again at 40, position is 40, 0, 0. Why you are saying some 20 and why we are saying 40? Because dear students, the object is moving in a one direction. That is a, we already assume that is a x direction. That is a x direction. So we changes only the x coordinate of that system, not a y and z. What is the y? Y means dear students that coordinate, but there is no movement in the y direction. And third is a outside, there is a no change. Means dear students, there is a no change in outside, only object move in that direction. Object move only in that direction. So dear student, if to get the position of an object, we require only one coordinate. Only one coordinate. Which coordinates are used in that case? Only x coordinate is used. So that is a x direction motion, and we can say that is a one dimension motion. Okay student, now I hope you understand what is the one dimension motion. We can say that is a one dimension. We require only a one coordinate to explain and to give information about the position of an object. Read the definition carefully. If only one of the three, we have a three coordinate system, that is a x, y and z, specifying the position of object changes with respect to them, then its motion is known as one dimension. Only we require a one coordinate. One, it may be x, it may be y, it may be z, any one, but condition is that only one coordinate. If x, yes, that is a one dimension. If y, yes, we can say that is a one dimension. If z, that time we can say that is a one dimension. It doesn't matter, it x, it may be y, it might be z. If any one of coordinate is changed, only single coordinate, but our condition is that our single coordinate is changes, that time we can say that is a one dimension motion. So dear students, that is a one dimension motion. Let's suppose dear, more point for a one dimension motion is that, let's suppose dear students, you are moving in another direction. What is the direction? Let's suppose dear students, you are a move in upward direction. Our coordinate system says that is a x direction and that is a y, and outside is a z direction. And that position dear students, position is 0, 0, 0. Means dear student, x is 0, y is 0 and z is 0. Now what happen? If body move upward direction, then at that position it is a 20 meter and at that position it is a 40 meter. Okay. Now coordinate of that system is, x coordinate will not be changed. Why? Because that is x coordinate. And which coordinate is changes? Y coordinate is changes continuously. Now at that point x coordinate is not changes, that is a 0. Y coordinate becomes 20 and z coordinate also not changes. So the coordinate system is 0, 20, 0. And at that position x is not changes, y is 40 and z is also 40. So dear student, in that motion which coordinates is changes? Y coordinate is changes, but dear student, it has only one coordinate, which that is a y. We require only a one coordinate, that is a y, to show the position of that object. Which coordinate required? That is a y coordinate, only a single coordinate. So it's also a one dimension motion. It's not a two dimension motion. It has only a one variation, one dimension variation, one coordinate variation. So according to our definition, if one coordinate required, at least one coordinate is required to show the position of an object, that is a one dimension motion. Let's suppose, dear students, that object is moving in an outside direction. In that condition, means in that condition, what happen? Only a z coordinate will be changes, not x and y. So that is also. So dear students, the example is that a motion of a train along a straight line. Everyone know about that is a move in a one dimension, one direction. Only a x coordinate will be changes. Okay. An object falling freely under gravity means object moving in a downward direction. So which coordinate will be changes? I have already explained you which coordinate will be changes. Only a 40 20 0 means which coordinate? Which coordinate? That is the y coordinate will be changes. So it's also a one dimension motion. Okay students, now after that we discuss about the two dimension motion. If you understand about the one dimension motion, then you can easily understand about the two dimension and three dimension. What happen in a two dimension? If two coordinate will be changes, then you can say it is a two dimension motion. If all three coordinates will be changes, dear students, then, or we can say if two coordinates are required to show the position of an object. If three coordinates are required to show a position of an object, then you can say two dimension or three dimension motion. Now the definitions of a two dimension is that we have a three coordinates totally. Two of three. We require two of three coordinates specifying the position of an object with respect to time, then the motion of an object is called two dimension. We required a two coordinate system. First we shows the example of that is that let's suppose, dear student, that is a three dimension motion. First, second, third, x, y and z. Let's suppose in a xy plane, so we use just like your wall has a one dimension is that and other dimension is that. So that is a x and that is a y, and mark a dot on your wall. We mark a dot on our wall. Now dear student, draw the perpendicular on a downward direction. First in a downward direction, second perpendicular in a that direction, and measure that point, that distance. We measure that is a 5 and we measure that is a 7. So what is the coordinate of that point is, it becomes 5 comma 7 comma, and what is the z? That is a 0. So we require two coordinate to show that position. After some time we mark one more point, that is that, and draw perpendicular on that, perpendicular on that. Now position is 10 and position is 12. So what is the position of that point? That is a 10 comma 12 comma 0. That is a x coordinate, that is a y coordinate. That is a x coordinate, that is a y coordinate. So how many coordinates are required to show the position of that object? We require two coordinates. Any one of two. It may be x comma y. It may be y comma z. It may be z comma x. Any two. If we require any two coordinates to show the position of an object, then we can say that is a two dimension motion. Now some example of that. First is a motion of a cone on a carom board. That is a carom board. It is a that one dimension and one dimension. If you use at the flat surface, then we can use that direction and that direction perpendicular to each other, just like that. Okay. First at that point, so we draw the perpendicular here and draw the perpendicular. That is the position of cone. After some time, position of cone is that. So position is changed. Let's suppose that is a 2 comma 3. Then after some time it will be 4 comma 6. So both the coordinates are changes. Both the coordinates are changes to show the position, and both the coordinates are required to show the position of an object. That is a two dimension motion. Okay students, I hope you understand. Second thing, an insect crawling on the floor on the room, just like at the winter time. Motion of an object in a horizontal and vertical circle. horizontal and vertical circle. Just like that circle, make a ring and put on your floor and move on that place. That are the required two dimension. Two dimension is what? 1 and 2. If you are having that, then that position. If you are that position, that. So two coordinates are required to show the position of an object. Motion of a planet around the sun. Most important example is there. Sometimes students mark as a three dimension motion of a planet around the sun. Let sun and motion. So dear, so only two coordinates are changes. If you are moving in that time, that circle and make a coordinate system practically, then and outside that. So dear, so only two coordinates are changes. Only two coordinates are changes to show the position of an planet. So that is a two-dimension motion, dear student. Most of the time student says that is a three-dimension motion. No, it is not a three-dimension motion. Okay student, that is a two-dimension motion. A car moving along a zigzag path, zigzag like that. Okay, now only two coordinates are required to show the position, dear, so not a three coordinate required. So it's also an example of a two-dimension motion. Okay student, after that we discuss about the three-dimension motion. Next one is a three-dimension motion. Okay, if all three coordinates are changes, now we mark again our coordinate x, y and z. It will not expand on a board. So let's, dear students, stand on your room and put your pen. Okay. Now draw the perpendicular on three sides. First in a downward, one coordinate. First, second is a right and left. You can use any type, any. And last one is a inside the board. Okay, student, inside the board. So first, second and third, three coordinates are, if you draw the perpendicular on all the floor, all side, three sides and measure the distances. If you change the position any year, okay. Now again draw the perpendicular same directions. First one are downward, then right and then inside the board. All the three coordinates are changes. All the three coordinates are changes. And to show the position of that position in first condition, we require the three coordinate. Then we can show the correct position of an object. So dear students, that type of motion is a three-dimension motion. Okay, I hope you do it at your room and understand the three-dimension motion. Okay, just example is that flying in the sky and random motion of a gas molecules. Gas molecules always move in a random motion, and motion of a aeroplane in a space. All are a three-dimension motion, students. Okay. After that we discuss more things is that type of a motion. If you are moving in a one dimension just like that, right, up, inside, outside, and sometimes you are moving in a circular form, it's also a motion. Sometimes you move on your position just like a sun, okay, or you are moving in a circular motion but on your position just like a that, it's also a motion. You are watching some more motion just like a pendulum which are moving in a single point just like that. So dear students, we divide the motion in different type. Now our topic is a different type is that type of motion. First motion is a linear motion. First motion is a linear motion, means dear students, we can also say the translatory motion, means you are moving in a straight path in any direction. Any direction, you can move in x direction, you can move in a y direction, you can move in a z direction, you can move in an incline also, but we require on a straight path. If you are moving in a straight path, dear student, when an object move in a straight line in any direction, dear students, doesn't matter the direction. If you are moving in a straight line, the motion is called a linear. It may be right, it may be up, it may be that, but we require it's not a linear. We require only a straight path. If you are moving in a straight path, then just like a lift direction up and down, both are straight. Left move up, left move down. It's a straight path. Okay, students. Example is that motion of car moving along a straight road in front of you. Always straight. Maximum time you see that a stone being dropped. When we drop a stone, whenever we drop a stone move only always in a downward. When I drop, move in a that direction. Okay. Now it's also a example of a one dimension motion. Okay. Now after that, dear student, one is a rotational motion. Understand that motion of a body around a fixed axis. Pick just like a football. Many times you see the footballer move a football on our fingers. Move a football on our fingers. What happen here? A football move on a fixed point at our fingers. That is a rotational motion. Football move on that finger that finger means at a fixed point. Football moves circular motion. That is a rotational motion. The motion of an electric fan just like in your room, and motion of a earth about its own axis and self axis, dear student. If you move any object just like our marker also, if that marker move in that direction just like that, but we have a single point, it move on that direction at a single point just like that is a rotational motion. In rotational motion, dear object moves, always moves, but across a fixed point. It's a mandatory thing is a fixed axis, not in a changing on a fixed axis. That time we can say that is a rotational motion. Okay, students, that is an electrical fan. Basic example, you can understand that it's rotate around that and axis is perpendicular just like that, and that is a structure and that move. Blades will be move in that direction. Okay, that is a fixed axis. Okay, now that is a rotational motion. After that, dear students, last one is a oscillatory motion. Just like a pendulum. The motion of a simple pendulum. What happen? That is a bob. We can say about that is a bob. That is called bob. It moves sometime that direction, again move and move in that direction. That type of motion is called oscillatory motion. What happen here? Let's suppose a particle here move in that direction, move and that direction, and move again and again at a particular position. That is a oscillatory motion. We can say the to and fro periodic motion. Periodic means, dear listener, it has a moment continuously at a point just like that. It moves that direction again. But a word is periodic. It says if time period is fixed, then we can say it is a periodic. Periodic means there is a fixed after fixed interval of time. If that motion is repeated, if after a fixed interval of time that motion is repeated, then we can say it is a periodic motion. That is a periodic motion. A simple word. Repeat after fixed time. Repeat after fixed time, then we can say that is a periodic motion. And periodic to and fro and periodic, that is a oscillatory motion. Okay students, the example is that let a body suspended from a spring. If you are having a stone and that is a thread, then you can rotate it, easily rotate it. If the time period of that rotation is constant, is fixed, let's suppose 10:5. 10:5 is the time that will be moving in the direction, and again 10:10 means how many times? That is 5 minutes. Come back. Again move. If it will be come back again after 5 minutes, means it repeat its motion every 5 minutes. It repeats its motion every 5 minutes, then we can say it is a periodic. It doesn't depend on path. Let the example is that we are attending our class at a 10 o'clock sharp daily. Means dear student, that function, that work is repeated again and again after 24 hours. That is a fixed time period. This, that is a 24 hours. After every 24 hours that event is happened and that event is repeated, so we can say that is a periodic. It doesn't matter which path is followed by to repeat this action, but it has a fixed time period, then we can say it is a periodic. If time period is fixed for repetition of any event, then we can say it is a periodic function. Oscillatory, to and fro motion, to and fro motion at a fixed point, around a fixed point. Around a fixed point, if you are moving at to and fro, just like that, it does not depend on a path, but that is a oscillatory motion. Okay students?
After completion of that topic, we give the assignment to you. The assignment for today's after today's lecture is that for exercise 1, question number A1 to A5 all are the available in the section A, and these are the subjective questions. These are the subjective part. And question number A2 and A8, A2 to A8 are a objective option. Objective questions means just 4 options are given, then choose the correct option. Okay students, now thank you so much.